Welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me.
Popping the podcast cherry today.
Yes, I'm excited.
We have to talk about your shoes, and I don't know if the YouTube people can see the shoes, but
My tibbies, the mat heel.
You walked in the house, and I was like, "Thank you so much for coming to work prepared today."
Of course. They made their debut at Fashion Week in the snow, so I had to trim off the feathers that got like black from the snow.
Oh no!
But they survived. They honestly are pretty good condition for the dirty snow in the city streets.
Everyone needs a haircut now and then.
Even your shoes.
Even your shoes. Those are so fab. And I really like how you styled them. I often will see like commentary on the internet of like a quote unquote like crazy shoe like that. People will be like, but how do you style that? And I'm like, the way you have it right now is so perfect and so just like chill.
Yeah, I am drawn to a funky shoe.
Yeah, you do love a funky shoe.
And I do. That's like my thing.
Yep.
But so I actually love the blue that they come in.
Okay.
But I used to always wear my blue Amina Muaddi heels and like with everything. So I was like, okay, I already have like my weird funky blue shoe. So, and I was thinking that I was going to like the black, but then like the black kind of got lost. And then when I tried on the white, yes. I was with my brother and he's like, ooh, I like the white. And so here we are.
Your brother was like, ooh, I like the white?
Yeah, I made him come shopping with me.
I need a brother like you, like
I know.
yours. Wow. Yeah, you do love a funky shoe, which is why I'm very excited to have you on the pod today because I'm such a fan of your style.
Thank you.
I think you do such a good job of kind of effortless, cool style.
Thanks. I know. I feel like it kind of just is what it, like I was saying to my mom, like I am not a basics person.
No.
At all.
Even what are your, like what would you consider your basics to be?
My Hanes little boys tanks that I wear. That's
literally
the tip.
The little boys.
I buy the extra large like boys because they're shorter than like the women's extra small.
Genius.
So I have packs of these.
Okay.
And I always go to jeans. That's my go-to. But I don't know. I just gravitate towards like event clothes or like random wacky things. And then I just wear them enough that it becomes like part of my wardrobe.
I mean, I'm still in that phase where like I do kind of have my like wardrobe basics and they are quite basic. Like it's a great jean, it's a great blazer, but I've told myself my promise for this year is to like try things that are a bit funkier and more fun, and I get so much inspiration from you.
I can help you.
Yeah, you can.
Well, it's so funny because I'm like, oh my god, a $70 white tee, that's crazy, but $1,000 weird pair of shoes that I'll wear once, I'm like, sign me up
anytime.
Yeah,
anytime.
Not logical at all, but it works.
Where did your love for fashion start?
Honestly, my mom. She literally, her closet is our hangout area still to this day. I remember when I was younger, like I used to bring like my friends over and be like, oh my god, you guys have to see my mom's shoe wall. She had 60 Jack Rogers in different colors. Like she was a preppy queen back in the day. Her style has evolved. But I'd bring everyone over and be like, oh my god, look at my mom's shoe closet. And my parents would always go out. They were so social. So I'd just watch my mom get ready. And I remember like even back in the day with like magazines, and my mom and I would be circling what we want in the magazines and calling in the closet to place our order before online shopping. I know.
Back.
And I was like, when I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh my god, like that was such a core memory for me.
Yeah.
And like even back to school shopping and getting your bulk buying before the school season, which was so fun. But it was just like my mom, really.
Oh, I have to tell you, like, I really resonate with that. It was the same thing with my mom and I. And now, as I'm getting older and I'm, like, thinking of starting a family, something that I've held really dear is, like, making sure that, like, closet and bathroom space, if it's something that I'm able to do, is really inviting. Because I want my kids to have that same experience and maybe fall in love with clothes like I did. But my mom, too, was really preppy when we were younger. And now she's, like, a little bit more funky. And she's wearing, like, a cute belt and a loafer and... but it is so, like, for me, it was such a formative thing in my life. What did you wear growing up? Like, was there something, I often think about, like, these, like, very quintessential moments in my upbringing where I wore something that actually feels, or I, like, experienced something in life, and it feels very formative to how I dress now. Was there something that you remember growing up that you're like, oh, that's still kind of, like, in me today?
Well, my mom always had me in a bow.
In a bow?
In a bow. Like a hair bow. Like when I was younger, I was in the biggest bow you could find. And I feel like literally up until like high school, like on the lacrosse field, I'd wear like a yellow bow so my mom could like see me on the field.
Oh, that's cute.
But I'm not really into bows anymore. And I didn't really lean into that trend. But that was like something that I always wore when I was younger. Not
But-
necessarily that like I still wear, but I have an appreciation for them.
You are good at a good, like you are really good with an accessory.
Yeah,
like,
I do
see
like
what
my
you're wearing
accessories.
now. For people who are listening audibly, she's wearing this like navy crew neck or V-neck, and then has this like amazing necklace that she actually got from a store down the street from my house. It's a bunch of kids like linked together.
Little people.
Little people. But like that is such a, and even like the amazing rings I see on your hands now, like they're such an accessories choice that I wouldn't be surprised if like the bow can relate
Came
back
from
to
that. Yeah.
Like I think all the time, I was a dancer growing up, ballet, had my hair in a bun 24/7 until I was 19 years old. And I think now I'm like, oh, I'm just so accustomed to being in a bun and feeling like put together like that, that's usually my like comfort space.
Yeah.
growing
Well, it's
up.
so funny. Like even now, like I'm trying to wear my hair down more because I was falling into the slick back bun trend, but it's just, I like that. And I feel
love
like
it.
I always
love
like am
it.
pushing my hair out of my face.
Me too.
Because the bun, like you don't have to touch it. You don't have to worry about your hair. It's just up and lasts.
How do you get dressed every day? Like walk me through this morning. You're going through the closet and how
Well,
does the outfit come to mind?
Today is honestly like an anomaly because normally I live in my athleisure.
You do?
I know. It's a crime.
Kind of.
I've fallen into it. But I think just because I live in Montecito and it's just such a slow lifestyle. And like I just like wake up and I walk and I do my workout and then I go to the grocery store. Like my life is very slow, I
Right.
would say. And
Right.
like I don't really have a reason to get dressed, which is a crime. But it also makes me appreciate like the other side of my life that is
Yeah.
like so hectic and crazy where I'll have to plan outfits for months when I'm on tour with my husband and then I have a look every single day. So I go through phases. And I
Okay.
think that's why like also my content isn't as consistent because I don't get dressed every day.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But today I was like my first thing I always go to is like jeans. Jeans
Yeah.
I love. I find so comfortable. And I was like, I just want to be casual, but then I need a little twist. So here are my funky shoes
I love a funky shoe.
and my necklace and add a little pizzazz. The basics always is just jeans, a white tee, and a black blazer. If you're struggling you don't know what to wear, that's like my
that.
go-to, the uniform.
What are your favorite denim brands? Like, what are the jeans in your closet that you reach for every day?
Normally, so my friend actually started a brand called Negligee. I don't know if they're still
Cute.
up and running,
Okay.
but they had like an everyday jean and I bought them twice. I live in them. I love them so much. They're just like a baggy, dark rinse, low rise, easy
Love.
pant that I can wear on planes because they're so comfy, but you look put together or with heels. But recently I've been reaching for my Park denim jeans. I love them because they're like actual, like it's hard denim, but they're
Yeah.
comfy.
Oh, see,
Like
I
they're
love
not
that.
like stiff.
I love that because for travel, I want something that like
Mhm.
looks elevated and not always have to be in like a legging or something that
Yeah.
feels like travel inspired.
Honestly, I love the Rag & Bone Miramar sweatpant jeans for travel.
Those are
I live in them.
crazy. I have them.
My
They're-
mom turned me on to them, honestly.
They're literally a sweatpant with denim like dyed on it, right?
Yeah, like a print.
It's crazy.
But like you would never be able to tell. My mom didn't
never.
know.
No, never.
When she first bought them, she was like wearing them with heels and she's like, "Oh, why isn't the back pocket working?" And she's like, "Oh my god, Brooke, these are sweatpants." I was like, "Wait, these are amazing."
They're incredible. I did an ad for them, I think, when they first came out. And I was like, these are weird. Like, I don't even know. But now.
No, you got to lean into them.
You have to lean into them. No one's going to know.
No.
It's like that TikTok sound. No one's going to know.
No.
Just do it. No one's going to know. Those are amazing. I haven't seen them in a while. Do you have them just in a normal wash?
Yeah.
I feel like I would love them in a
They
black.
they came out with like a bunch of different variations now, but I put them in the dryer and now they're a little short on me, so I might have to get a new pair.
Never put anything in the dryer besides
know.
tees and athleisure. This
I
is what
know.
I've learned. I do a lot of my own laundry. Hang dry.
The way to go.
Everything.
Mhm.
Like I'll wash all my sweaters in the washing machine, like my cashmere, and then I'll just like flat dry it. For cashmere, you have to flat dry. But everything else does not belong in the dryer.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. I've had
It always gets ruined.
It's just like when the pants shrink like that and they were like the perfect length before.
But I think now they make short and tall versions, so I might need the taller version.
Brands that do that are genius.
Yeah.
Because like I'm 5'4" and like I need short.
And I'm 5'7",
Yeah,
so I need a little bit of height.
you walked in and I was like, oh, she's the perfect height for clothes.
Thank you.
5'7" is the perfect height. Perfect height for clothes.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it is. It is really
you
nice.
You literally go to the store, you pick up a pair of pants and they fit you, right?
hmm
Yeah, no.
For the most part.
Well, I have to get all my pants tailored.
Yeah.
All of them. My tailor loves me. I hate going there.
A good relationship to have.
Yeah, we're besties. What other closet essentials do you love? I know you mentioned a blazer.
Yeah, I
What
always
other
go
things
to
are
the
like-
Frankie shop, blazer.
So good.
Yeah.
And honestly, a really good price. It's like under $400.
I think it's like $350.
$380, something
Yeah,
like that, yeah.
mhm.
Honestly, for that construction of a blazer, it's really good.
Yeah, I also have their hourglass one that gives you a little bit of shape.
I've seen a lot of that normally. I think especially like in bridal, it's
Mhm.
everywhere. So I feel like it's just kind of on my radar. But this year, I feel like even just post Fashion Month, I saw them everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they were on every runway.
I honestly don't wear it as much as I should, but maybe I'll bring it back out.
I think with that hourglass, you have to wear a very straight pant with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like the straight kind of pant is not really something everyone has in their closet.
It's cute with like a mesh skirt or like a sheer skirt.
I love it with a skirt.
Yeah.
It gives that like Dior new look vibe that I love.
Totally.
Yeah, so pretty. Okay, what else is in the closet that you're like reaching for?
What do I
Blazer, obviously you have your tees, jeans.
Yeah, my tanks, my Hanes tanks that I said, those are my go-to. I love my Solomon sneakers.
You do?
I do. I used to be a sneakerhead.
Same. East Coast life.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm a tabby girl through and through. I know they're
you
polarizing.
Let's talk about the
love
tabby.
them.
Okay.
People have a bone to pick.
They have
Are you one of those?
No, I'm all for the feather shoe. I'm all for the tabby.
Your hooves.
I'm here for all of it. Will I wear it myself and like think it looks good on me? No. But when I see you in a tabby, I'm like, damn, she looks so good.
I love it. I just got the loafers with like the back that isn't like the hard back. You can like step
Slide
on
into
them.
them, yeah.
I wore the tabby mules wedding morning as my
You
slippers.
did. Oh, yep. What do you love about them?
They're just so easy. But I think also too, if you're just wearing a simple outfit, it adds just a little pizzazz. Like even the black ones, like if someone's just looking at you at a coffee shop, oh, basic outfit, and you look down and you're like, you have hooves. You know, like it's just a little something. I was at Jack's Coffee in New York and I looked down and there's a dog next to me and their paw and my shoes were right next to each other. I've never gotten more responses on my Instagram story ever. I'll have to show you the photo after.
Wait, can I see it now? No, we have to see this picture now. It needs to be shown to the camera. Oh my God. No, that was better than
Can you see?
anything I could have expected. Like the fact that you
Like both white paws.
that is the greatest picture I've ever seen in my whole life. You guys,
know.
it's on her grid right now in a swipe. It's like her in a white tabby flat with a dog with white paws on a red floor. That is
It was pretty iconic.
okay, tabby queen. I'll give it to you.
Yes, I do love. I've converted
give it
my
to you.
mom. She's now a tabby lover. And I feel like I love like going to Asia so much.
Okay.
And everyone's in their tabbies there too.
I'm going to Tokyo for my first time in May, and I
I'm
feel
so
like
jealous.
you have a good list for me.
I do.
I feel like you do.
Oh my God, I love
My
Japan.
husband's there to eat. I am there to shop. I'm very ready for
Oh my
some
God,
like
I'm so
incredible
jealous.
places and things, and I can't wait. I'll be getting a list from you afterwards.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
I can't believe you convinced your mom to go tabby. That's epic.
Yeah. She wore matching slippers or mules with me wedding morning. She wore them in
So
blue.
cute.
I wore them in white. And then now she's a full tabby girl. She's the boots, different heel heights, the slingbacks.
Wow. I mean, look, if anybody can influence me to wear something, it's you, which is why I love the closet next door. I've actually been
Thank you.
looking at it for outfit inspo on a daily basis. I know you have a co-founder on the East Coast.
Yes.
How did you guys start the closet next door?
So my best friend Olivia and I, we've always
name.
great name.
Great name.
We've always loved clothes. Like even in high school, we would put on full-blown outfits, do full-blown photo shoots, go into the city when like Butcher's Daughter was like the rave. We would wait 2 hours
Deep
in
cut.
line to get our content. It was like peak Instagram of the presets. Like
Yep.
we would run around the city like thinking that we were the coolest people that we knew, but we loved it. And that's what we would do for fun on the weekends. And we just have always loved clothes and always shared clothes. And post-college, I had a job. I was working at an interior design firm. She was working at her job. And we both were like, we need like a little creative outlet. And we started the closet next door. But we got our name because we both lived in Tribeca
Okay.
in buildings right next to each other. So our closets were next door.
That is the cutest backstory
Yeah.
of all time.
So it kind of just like evolved. We were just coming up with outfits that we would wear, and then people would write in like, oh, I need an outfit for Easter, and then I would create like what I would wear on Easter. And then like people keep writing in like, oh, like Super Bowl or my birthday party or things like that. But it wasn't really personal to the person. It was more so just what we would wear for that event. But it's slowly evolved. And now we are taking like personal styling requests where people will write in exactly what they need, their budget, and if it's a capsule wardrobe, one look, a bridal package, which I love doing the bridal ones.
So fun. Virtual styling, I think, is becoming a very big thing.
I agree. I think everything is online now. Like the way I shop, school at one point, like everything, people work online, like everything's online. So I feel like it's not going anywhere. And even if you're just like scrolling through your day to day, if I can inspire you real quick in your scroll, like, oh, I would have never thought to wear that. Or, oh, I've never heard of this brand before. I think it's a great outlet. It makes it more accessible for people. But there's nothing like in-person styling, like trying it on and seeing it either fit perfectly or horribly. And I'm like, not even for everyone to buy the full outfit, but like, oh, I've never heard of that swimwear brand. What's that? And you click on it and then you go down like a rabbit hole and you just find new things daily, which is nice.
What other places do you love to shop?
In person, in LA, I love Recess Vintage.
The best.
I love Recess.
Recess does not get the love it deserves.
On La Brea.
Yep.
I like RLT.
Love RLT.
That's where I got these, actually. And then, obviously, like Melrose Place. I shop, go up and down. I'm a Ghani girl and Acne.
Love.
But then in the city, I love, like, the Lower East Side.
Frankie Shop World.
The Frankie Shop, Assembly, New York, Ref Vintage. There's a store, Cara Loliage.
I haven't heard of it.
I'm butchering the name.
It's okay. We'll find them.
Yes. It's, like, right by Sandy Lang and Susan Alexandra. It's down there.
It's so fun down there.
I know. It's gritty.
But
they have all the hidden spots.
They do. What about online? Any vintage places you love?
Online, I love Shop SVC, Shop Vintage Collection.
Never heard of that.
Oh my God. The blazers are like $50.
I'm in trouble now.
I know. They have amazing pieces. I just got a couple things from them. Okay. But online, I'm a Moda and My Teresa girl through and through.
You are a Moda girl. I see you always linking Moda, and I feel like I get it.
It's because I love the styling, and it makes it easy. Like, I don't want to have to dig through your website. Yeah, like I want it presented nicely. I like to know when it's coming out, like with the trunk shows.
The styling is everything for e-commerce. Like if it's not,
well, that's what we were saying with it makes or breaks an outfit.
Makes or breaks it. Like I will buy it if it's beautifully done. Like it's so funny. Revolve uses that same model on Forward too, and now I'm just like, okay, I know. Yeah, that looks good.
But yeah, I am a Moda My Teresa. I love how fast it comes. It comes with the label.
I just ordered something from Net this morning and it comes tomorrow morning. And I'm like, see?
I love Essence for like more funky pieces. I love their home section.
It's hard for me to sift on Essence.
I know. You have to know what you want.
Really have to know what you want. There are some websites out there that are still presenting clothing like as a flat lay.
Yeah, no.
Like with no model. And I'm like, how are you guys alive?
But I feel like back to Essence. I feel like they carry more like funky pieces.
Absolutely.
And like Japanese brands and they like are a completely different selection than My Teresa and Moda.
It's a like I remember I like them for discovery. Like I first found like Shushu Tong from them. Like there's a lot of brands that I would have never found if it hadn't been for them.
I think this J. Kim is on it.
Oh, cute.
Where my necklace is from.
Yeah. Okay, love. Good to know. Yeah. I'll check it out. Okay, let's switch gears to wedding a little bit because you and I both had a fun wedding here, and I loved seeing your wedding unfold.
The 2024 brides.
2024 brides. I miss being 2024 bride. It was fun. Do you miss it?
Yes, I love it.
I
can talk about weddings all day long, every day.
So come on. Like when people tell me they're getting married now, I'm like, how much time do you have? Like,
let's do a full deep dive. I'm sat.
Okay, for starters, you and Charlie met back at home. Your dads knew each other in elementary school?
Yeah. Our dads were best friends in elementary school. And then our moms became best friends like while they were dating, and they all got married at the same time. They all had kids at the same time. And we just grew up together.
This is the cutest thing I've ever heard. Someone needs to make like a Hallmark rom-com inspired by this story.
Well, didn't you know your husband since
the
beginning?
No, not since the beginning. We've been kind of connected. Our siblings went to high school together. And, like, we all kind of grew up in the same circle, but not like that.
Yeah.
That is
so
fun.
The wedding was so fun. We already knew everyone on the guest list. Yeah. It was easy.
Oh, my God.
No one had to meet for the first time.
Oh, my God. That is a dream and a half because that really is a thing. Like, you meet a lot of cousins for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, how sweet for your dads. Like,
Oh, our moms were so excited.
but not even that. Like, imagine your dad sitting there being like, hey, like, did you think when we were in middle school together that
There
our
would be
kids
family?
would be getting married?
No, definitely not.
What a sweet thing.
I know.
Oh my God. So how did you guys have to rekindle over time
Mm-hmm.
or?
It was
Yeah.
always like we were always interested in each other, and it was always just timing. Like I had a boyfriend, he had a
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Typical.
I went to I was going to college, doing my thing. He was in LA, and then it was kind of just like when timing worked out finally for us. It worked out, and here we are.
Honestly, for the best. Timing
Yeah.
is everything.
Definitely.
Like my husband and I met, we were best friends for 2 years. And I always say that if we started dating off the bat, we probably wouldn't have made it all the way. We just
Yeah.
weren't ready in that time of life. Like we were both so young. He had just moved to New York. I was just graduating college. Whereas when we actually started dating a few years later, we were just a bit more like settled in
Yeah,
life.
I
and,
agree.
Like, had that confidence to like be in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, timing's everything. Truly is everything. The other day you posted your mood boards.
Oh,
and
yes.
I loved them.
Thank you.
I have to ask, people have been asking me a lot about weddings. Like, how did you pick your theme? And I'm like,
I didn't.
I didn't either. Okay.
I didn't have a theme.
Do you think that, yeah. Do you
I
think that
think-
wedding themes are necessary
No.
anymore? No.
I think it should be a reflection of your daily life.
Agree.
And like I honestly took a lot of inspiration from like my house.
Yep.
And like even though I'm an East Coaster, but we got married at Charlie's parents' house in California.
In essentially the driveway, right?
The ceremony was in the driveway,
Nice.
and then the cocktail area was like in their pool patio area, and then we worked our way for the reception, the tent in the yard.
I completely agree with you that the theme should be reflective of you guys.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, you said to me, like, oh, we got married in the driveway. But first of all, it was the most stunning wedding ever. But at the same time, like, it's such a reflection of home.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you guys sharing that same home
Yeah.
from when you were young. And it is true. Like, I think whatever.
We didn't even look at wedding venues. I like didn't
Yeah.
even need to. I was like, I knew I wanted to get
Dream.
married in either my parents' backyard or his parents' backyard. Or I wanted a tent wedding regardless,
Right.
and always loved the idea of a backyard wedding.
Same.
And my
very
dream
Father
came
of the
true.
Bride.
Yeah, I know.
Best movie
But that's
ever.
like my whole thing. Like I wanted something traditional and like classic, but with a twist.
Right.
Like I loved like my whole wedding theme. Like I loved like a juxtaposition of like I had no wedding florals at my ceremony, which like who does that?
Wow.
I didn't have any. Like I had my stools be like the structural unique element. That
Well,
was like
also
the
because
statement.
You were in the backyard, right? So there was there was
I
already
mean, there was
some
like
kind
a
of shrubbery.
tree. Yeah. Like we got married around like the olive tree in like a half circle.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things that I took away from planning a wedding was how many things are kind of baked in that are assumed needed.
Mm-hmm.
And how many things as you go through it, you're like, oh, I don't need that. But wait, how can I not have wedding florals?
Mm-hmm.
There are so many preconceived ideas that we really just like, you can make it your own.
Well, that's my whole thing with weddings. I'm like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to.
Nope.
If you don't want to wear like a bridal dress, like a wedding designer, don't get a dress that has a gown, throw on a veil, and like
Call it
that's
a
your
day.
wedding dress.
Yep.
Like if you like personally, like I love my girlfriends, but I'm not a big girls group girl,
Right.
if that makes sense.
It does.
Like I was never a sorority girl or anything like that. And so like I didn't have bridesmaids. I got ready with my mom alone, a quiet, peaceful morning. But like you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Yep.
And I think that's what people get so hung up on. Like, oh, I need the bridal shower. I need this. I need that. And I'm like, you can do anything. It should just be a reflection of you and your husband or your partner.
My mother's face when I was like, I'm not having a bridal shower.
I didn't have one either.
She was like, what? And I was like, well, honestly, I didn't want to pick another outfit. At that time, I was fatigued.
See, like I would have wanted the bridal shower
For
for
the
another
outfit.
outfit. But I was just like, my husband and I already lived together.
Right.
I'm like, I don't need another. I'm like, I'd rather save whatever money
That's
we
what
would
that
spend on the
was-
bridal shower and throw
Put
it into the wedding.
Exactly. And that's the other thing I think people don't realize is like, you don't have to do these things. Use whatever your budget is towards what you really want to use it
Yeah.
for.
I mean, I think like if you're paying for the wedding, I think, or when you have other people helping you pay for the wedding, then you kind of have to appreciate some people's inputs. But
Of
for the most
course,
part, like,
yes.
do as you please.
Yep. I mean, it came out beautifully.
Thank you.
It really was so
It was so fun.
classic, so Montecito beautiful. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah, I wanted it to be like super effortless, like, oh, just a little backyard wedding, but like everything is meticulously planned. There's like details in the details, and like that would sometimes like pass people by, but I'm like, I know they're there.
If you could have done something differently, what would it have been?
I feel like the only thing that like I wish I ended up going with was my seating chart. I wanted like this TV display, like, you know how they have at Jessica McCormick, the jewelry store, like all the different TVs. It's like a vintage display.
Like vintage TVs. Yeah.
And I wanted that to be like an art installation for my seating chart.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah, like I had like this vision, and then literally because I didn't do it, I was seeing it everywhere afterwards.
Oh my God, it's the
But
worst.
I was like, people are just going to look at their seating chart for like 1 second. That was not my priority.
Yep.
And I still had like a TV element. I did like a plasma on like an art easel.
Oh, that's cool.
And like projected a graphic of like all black and white images of like people, us from home, like us in California, and I don't know. That was my only like thing that I was like, oh, I wish I just did it. But then I was like, was it worth it? No.
I think you really have to like rationalize cost per minute.
Yeah.
Like
totally.
how long
you
are
look at it
people
for 1
enjoying
second.
This?
No. It would be cool for me.
Exactly. I know. It's funny. You have to like stay off Instagram almost as a bride.
I know.
Because every decision you make, you can go on the internet and find something so different that like takes you off your path.
I am like the most decisive person ever.
Love.
So I didn't really have any
of that.
No. Like even I remember when I first tried on wedding dresses, they're like, okay, you'll try on like X amount of dresses during the time. I tried on like double. And the guy was like, oh. And I was like, I just knew. I put it on. I was like, no.
I bet you that decisiveness is also why you have a very specific point of view with your style. You're able to be like, yep, it's that. It's not that deep. I think people who are decisive don't overthink things. And they're just like, that's it. We're going with it. And it's not deeper than that. How was the process of making a custom dress?
Honestly, easy. But I didn't know I was going to go the custom route eventually. Okay. Like I said, like I was a wedding girl, so I was in the Pinterest boards back in the day.
Was what you wore the dress you originally wanted?
I first discovered Danielle Frankel like in 2018. I remember her first one of her first campaign shoots. It was like the wedding dresses in this like pool with no water in it, and I vividly remember like it stuck with me, and I was like, I love this brand, like I think it's so cool, and I just remember always loving her. And then as years went on, she started to become more of like a household name brand and everywhere, which at first I was like, do I want to go with her because now everyone's wearing her? Like I feel like it was article after article like Danielle Frankel, but I was like, but I still love her designs and her style. So I started my wedding dress try-on process. And when I first went to Danielle, and the only thing I left with was my engagement party outfit. Like that was the only thing that I was like, wow, like this is what I want. And then I tried on, I think like 30 dresses. But like I said, I didn't go to that many places. You know me, I was quick.
Yeah.
I was trying them on, nope, yes, whatever. And then my husband and I, we left for tour. So that's why I needed to make a decision kind of quick or try on style. So then by the time I got back, I could like take action of what I wanted, because we got married almost a year from the date that we got engaged.
Wow. One of my really good friends just did that, and
it was like September 5th to September 7th. So like 2 days.
Yeah. You're really like going into overdrive right away.
Yeah. Like pedal to the metal. So I tried on a bunch, and then nothing was wowing me. And I was like, okay, like let me just go back to Danielle, and I'll like piecemeal all the pieces of all the dresses that I tried on together.
Okay.
And it's like, I loved this one dress and it really snatched me, but then like this one Lanvin dress like has me in a chokehold still to this day.
Okay.
And it wasn't a wedding dress. It was just one of their dresses, and it had this beautiful like sculptural tulle twist bottom that was very light. And
my friend wore that in pink for a wedding, for her sister's
it's
wedding.
Beautiful.
And when she walked down the aisle, I was like, took my breath away. That's a gorgeous dress.
And so I was like originally talking to the Lanvin team, like, can I make this in white? Because it came in a butter yellow. So I was like tweaking all that, but I didn't love like the front of the dress. And I was like, well, that has to matter. Like I can't just have the train.
Yep.
And so when I was talking with Danielle, she was like, well, you're liking two different things. Like you can't have this ethereal, light, flowy thing.
Right.
And then this super structural element. So I kind of had to lean in and pick a lane. And when we were coming up with designs, I was like putting 2 dresses on at once to kind of see like how it would look, like this top with this. And I remember right as I was leaving, I was like putting my clothes on to get ready to leave, and like the bottom of this one dress that I didn't see caught my eye, and it was like a linen organza material with like a tulip skirt, sorry.
Okay.
But it had like a super high neck, and so I was like, let me just try it back on and go back in the fitting room real quick.
Yeah.
And when I was looking in the mirror, I was like, okay, well, I love strapless, like let's roll it down. I was like, can we add a train? I was like, can we remove the boning? I was like, well, maybe if we have like some lace or some petals coming out of the top. Cute. And it kind of just like ever evolved.
Yeah.
And we were like, wait, this is it. And that's kind of how it happened. And then every time I went for a fitting, it kind of was just like more and more like evolved. I was like, okay, like I'll do a fold over, because originally when I tried on the dress and folded down the dress, it had created like a shadow almost, or a shelf directly underneath like your bust. And I was like, oh, I kind of like that element. And so we were like figuring out how I could do that, and she's like, well, actually I have like hand painted lace now too.
Oh wow.
So I was like, let's throw that in there. So like all the flowers around my bust were hand painted. They were hand painted, mixed in with the lace, which kind of adds like a more masculine edge, the hand, because it was hard, with like the soft lace, which I liked.
I think to do custom, you have to be like you have to be incredibly decisive and have a vision.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're just in
and
like
I just like needed to know that no one else is going to wear my dress.
Yes, that's a big
like
thing.
That's like who I am as a person. Like I had to have my moment.
Yep. I totally
And I'm like, now
wedding.
I don't care if like people have similar whatever, but I'm like, I needed that initial thing to be like, this is mine.
Right.
And I loved it and want to take it back. Yeah.
So beautiful.
I still look at it, I'm like, oh, I love it. Because it's like so classic,
Yeah,
and
no,
there's nothing that crazy.
Nope.
But it is unique, and it has like, not
Very
everyone
you.
would wear like the tulip skirt or add the train in the back, which is kind of odd. But I loved it.
I think your dress has to feel like you, and I think it needs to fit in with the environment that you're getting married in.
100%.
Like,
I think your venue plays to it
everything.
completely.
I think picking a dress is not about your dream dress. It's about how it fits in your venue.
Totally.
Like when I first planned the wedding, I was like, I hate lace. I'm not wearing lace. Like my wedding dress was full long sleeve lace.
Oh, it was stunning.
Thank you. But I loved it. I loved it specifically for the environment. Like I loved it walking through the field.
Yeah.
Like I loved it in the English countryside. But yeah, I would have never picked it if it wasn't for the location.
Yeah.
And I could see that with your dress too. Like you need those moments that tie you and ground you to where you are.
And like something that like you'll look back in and be like, I loved this then.
Yeah.
Like, okay, even if in a couple years or like down the road you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I wore that.
Yes.
But like,
Oh my
but
God.
it's like, but that's what I liked, and that's what was calling my name at that time.
I
Like,
had no desire to be a timeless bride.
no.
Zero. Like I want to be 60 and look back at my wedding and be like, oh, you were having the
Make a
time
statement.
of your life. Like you wore what you thought was like bold and fun during that time.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be, I think if something like exists through time like that on such a special day, it sometimes can fall flat. And I think sometimes that pursuit of timelessness kind of veers you away from like wearing the thing that feels like you.
I also think it will still be timeless because it's your personal taste. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like it's timeless to you. Like maybe someone else doesn't like it, but who cares?
My favorite of your looks, I loved your wedding dress, but I loved what you wore for your reception. The Jill
Thank
Sanders,
you.
insane.
Oh my God, it was so fun.
Okay, I know that was hard to source.
Yes. So I styled myself for my wedding.
Love.
I needed to take on the feet for myself and for my own personal self. And I was just scouring the internet for a year, basically. I don't remember exactly when I first found it, but I found it on Moda, and it was a pre-order.
Ugh.
And
I won't even go on Moda and hit
I
pre-order.
know.
I won't.
You
I'm
have to select available now.
only available now. I can't
But
do it.
I saw it on Moda, and the back was like a kind of like the Proenza twist back. It had like a twist in the back, and that's how it was on the Moda model. And Charlie's stylist at the time, Dave Thomas, I was like, hey, like, do you have any pull at Jill Sander? Like, I want this dress, but it doesn't say when it's available. And then I think the time came about, but like they still didn't have the size or something like that. I don't even really remember. And he was like, let me see. And they ended up coming up tough. And they were like, there's one left in like the country or the world. I don't even remember.
Okay.
And they're like, it's in the LA Jill Sander. And they're like, they have it for you. Like, you have like this weekend to go try it on.
Oh my
so
God.
I drove down.
Yep.
I tried it on. I was by myself.
Okay.
And the sales associate and I literally, he had it laid out on like in the fitting room because it's so heavy. You can't hang it or else it'll like stretch.
Yep.
The back was a little different. It didn't have the twists like the one on Moda, and it was just like a tank.
Okay.
So like
fine.
a full back.
Yeah.
And when we tried it on, the sales associate, William, and I were like giddy. We were jumping for joy. Like
Yeah.
I was the only one in the store. I was like, this is,
The
it
best
fit me
moment.
perfectly.
The best moment.
Didn't have to be altered.
Nothing.
Like he literally, I just slipped right into it and I was like, I need this.
I'm so happy for you.
I know. I was thrilled. Well,
Fashion
originally I got the idea. I just remembered I loved the Alaya look on the runway with the ruffle pants.
Yep. Oh my God, I want
It,
all
though
things
it
Alaya.
had me in a chokehold, these pants, and I was like, I just need, because I was not opposed to wearing pants and a tank top for my
Right.
second look because I loved the movement of the pants down the runway. It was all over my Instagram feed, and I remember he inquired for me, and it was like 35 grand for pants, and I was like, I don't need those. I can live without.
There's no one influencing me more to buy the Alaya shoes right now than you.
Do it.
I know. I love
Bad
them.
influence, but so that was like what I loved, and I felt like the Jill Sander look accomplished the same thing. It was just a tank,
Yes.
that off-white cream, the bottom had the movement, and they were actually long sequins. So like it's the same material of the sequins, and it was mixed
Beautiful.
of like off-white and cream with like stark white. So that's why I wore like white shoes to like make it pop. And
I loved it.
thank
It
you.
was
It was so much,
so
and it was nice
special.
because the back didn't have any sequins on it, so I
Okay.
could sit like easily.
Oh, that's
Yeah, because I
amazing.
wore it like for our dinner portion,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it
you
was
have to
so
wear something
easy.
that you can
yeah.
eat comfortably in. Are there any places that you found some like great hidden gems at while you were bridal shopping for anybody who's listening, who's a fellow bride or knows a bride and they want to share?
I found my rehearsal dinner dress at Happy Isles.
The best. That Chanel was incredible.
I honestly didn't even mean to find it.
Yeah.
It found me. And I remember I was there with my best friend Olivia. She was in town. And I was like, let's just go to Happy Hours. I had an appointment. And like I left and I was like, okay, I need that. I didn't know what for exactly, but that is my style completely. Like I loved the trench. I don't even know. I wore it in the back. I tied it in the back, so it kind of cinched me a little, the belt.
Yeah.
But it was just effortless and easy. But
Happy Hours is great.
yeah.
I feel like
So I loved Happy Hours.
sometimes I've gone and I haven't found anything, but then sometimes I go and I find like 20 things and I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I also like got like this really cute like blue marine cherry set for my honeymoon from there
Cute.
too.
I loved that set.
Yeah.
It's very cute. They have great stuff. Like I think their curation is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a field day for me whenever I go in
And I like, so the brand that I said before, Lucia Zolia.
Yeah.
I got this really cute like pearl bag that I wore for my marriage certificate courthouse look.
I love that.
Yeah, there's one too. I've never gotten anything from them, but like Shop Gossamer.
I've seen it. I haven't gotten
Yeah,
anything.
they're always at like a current affair.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. But those are like my two vintage, and like Tab. I went to Tab Vintage. I know
Yeah.
you got one of your dresses there.
I did, yeah. Got my reception dress from there. That was a labor of love, that dress.
Yeah.
It was a bit too big on me. It needed like a couture seamstress to fix it. But so
Yeah.
worth it. It was my favorite
But
thing.
it was fun there. They had good pieces there too.
Oh, they have incredible pieces. It's a hefty price tag.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to find something and invest in it and like have it
Mhm.
forever, like I'm so glad I bought that dress. In hindsight, it was so expensive.
It was
but
a moment.
It's in my closet right now, and sometimes when I'm sad, I just
Maybe put it on.
I just look at it. And I'm like, I have it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe someone in my family will wear it one day.
Yeah, you never know.
Never know. What's your best piece of advice for any brides right now that are planning their wedding?
I would say, I mean, we kind of touched on this before, but like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yep.
And it'll be okay.
Yep.
You will look beautiful the day of. It'll all work out. And no one knows, like, what you didn't choose.
Yeah.
Like, only you know that the cocktail napkins could have been light blue or dark blue.
Oh my
Like,
God.
no one knows those little decisions. Like,
Yes.
so don't fret. Like, make your decision, stick to it, and your day will be amazing.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for
How was
having
your first
me.
pod?
It was great.
Good. I'm so glad.
It was
This
easy.
So fun.